Welcome back, everybody, to our next match of the day, match 4 of 6 on the day. So we're getting into that second half of the matches. EHOME versus mTw. Game 1, again, best out of 2 format for all these matches. This one I am personally very excited about. I've not gotten to watch EHOME at all. Again, this is the International 2 group stages. I am LD, he is Luminous joining me, or I am joining him, I should say, on his lovely stream. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Had some great games today, had some snoozers, I want to call it, but I have a good feeling about this series. mTw, I want to say one of the most consistent, maybe not the most consistent, but one of the best teams at doing a very stable, patient style. It's kind of similar to Complexity in some ways from American Dota, even Tongfu from the Chinese scene. But EHOME, very, very aggressive, especially for a Chinese team, and I'm excited to see that aggression class against mTw's defensive style.
I'm glad you brought up aggression. Chinese Dota have that kind of a negative, what's the word for it? Connotation? Negative rap. Yeah, that's the easiest word. Negative rap for being boring. EHOME is not like that at all. They can play a game for slow down, methodical, positional based. They could do that too. But lately, they've been turning on the aggression. And it's the aggressive Chinese meeting the defensive European. That's something that you don't see too often. And here we go. We're going to see it. EHOME versus mTw. mTw Radiant, first ban, first pick, Lone Druid, Syllabere. Well, Lone Druid and Syllabere, the same hero. Lone Druid, Invoker, and Darkseer. Meanwhile, Lycanthrope, Naga Siren, as well as Nature's Prophet.
Pretty standard here. Now, the two heroes that are available that my eyes are on are Storm and Tinker. Tinker for both of these teams. I heard rumors coming to this event that we would be seeing Dai, also known as X or MMY. In this game, he is X. That we would get to see his Tinker revered in China, very accomplished on that hero in many large Dota 1 events, and even in Dota 2. I don't think we've actually seen it in Dota 2, at least I have not. I probably played it in the event, but I haven't cast those games, haven't had a chance to watch any of the VODs yet. I'm hoping to see that. I'm hoping to see the Storm, which I believe PCT is handling nowadays. That would be Celine Goodness. Celine Goddess? Goddesses? That's a bit of a butchery of the English language, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it.
Hey! Don't make fun of people butchering English language. I'm known to be butchering English language. I think I just did for many times. But yeah, I think that's PCT, whatever his name is going for. But that's a Celine Goddess cat or something like that. Any case, X is not going to be playing the Storm, but if he is, we will be ready to jump for joy. Leshrac is going to be the reply here for mTw. No signs of Tinker just yet, but you really never know when's going to fly out. Critically, both of the junglers are still in the pool, and Rubik, that hero that has been having high success rate in the Dota 2 scene in this particular tournament, is first snap pick here by Rubik. I think the Chinese team all kind of agree that Rubik is the real deal, and they first pick him whenever possible, and it's a Brewmaster reply. I think we might see some Panda on Panda action, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, Rubik, that's a great spell to steal. Clap is as well. The thing about Panda's ult is when he comes out of it, it's got a long cast animation if you want to clap, even if you want to cast Drunken Haze, during which time, if Rubik's able to live, if he's able to stay near Panda, he can steal that ult, and boy, is that an amazing ult to steal. You can use it to push, you can use it to team fight. It's so effective for pretty much any need. There's a lot of burst damage that are coming in the form of Leshrac already. Pretty much a one-man burst machine, and that could mean trouble for Rubik, especially early on. He's got to survive long enough to steal good spells, but already amazing spells on the field that mTw are making available to him. Tinker, again, I mentioned it earlier in the pregame, it's still available. It's a hero some of the Chinese teams are running. I was just reading that IG ran it versus Orange, and apparently that was a great series, so definitely check that out. That one was played by Ferrari, but there are definitely some great Tinker players in this game. mTw have theirs as well. Chen is the pick, and then the Morphling, another hero, this carry. What more is there to say about him? He has just been winning so many games.
Yeah, he really has. It doesn't matter what kind of carry he's up against. He's beaten Lycans, he's beaten Bruce, he's beaten Andy Mage. I just don't know how do you stop this hero, because you really can't. If you stop him early game, he'll go for the late game victories. If you don't stop him early game, we saw the Scotty rush by Fear. We also saw the more appropriate shotgun rush, and that shotgun, well, Crystal Maiden just dies in one shot. It's just, he has a lot of tricks up his backs, and he always is able to survive till he finds those tricks. He's just that good of a hero. And look at EHOME, somewhat of a defensive lineup to start, but can turn on the offense. Chen grabbing those creeps, wrapping behind towers for dives and whatnot. And they ban out this, wow, Ricky Maru. I believe mTw was the team that picked Ricky yesterday in the game that we cast, right?
Yeah, EHOME's doing the research here, and that Ricky actually did work out in the end. It completely dominated the game, snowballed out of control, if I recall correctly. Memory's a little fuzzy. We cast 12 games yesterday, already 6 today. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But he had a really fast diffusal blade. He had free farm, and that is so effective, not only against Morphling, but the 2 supports here as well. So I really like the ban. EHOME, somehow finding time to do their research, because this is normally not something that other teams pick to counter Morphling. Even though it can be effective, Ricky doesn't offer nearly as much in the laning stage, requires a big investment to get it up, or to get that diffusal blade up. And so that's why we don't normally see him. But for EHOME, where do they go from here? What are they leaving in the pool for themselves? Some Chinese favorites like Chaos Knight are still available. He hasn't been picked as much in this particular event, but definitely it's a hero that EHOME have run in the past. Bounty Hunter, a big signature hero for EHOME. They love to throw him on into the offlane, just collect some levels, hang on, and then go set up ganks. Even at level as early as level 3, we saw Demon's Bounty Hunter very effective earlier. But I would say EHOME to me are one of the best teams at running that hero, because they pick a team that benefits from his farm, and then when they set up ganks with Bounty Hunter, it's not just a one-man show with Demon, as amazing as that one-man show was, but it's the whole team working concertedly together to set up those kills.
Yeah, one hero to also consider is the TIE Hunter. To get yourself a little bit more AoE, which is what I feel EHOME is somewhat lacking, and Rubik's going to give you some, Morphling's going to give you some, but it's not really enough crowd control. And TIE Hunter gives you that if they want to go for that route. Enigma's also there. Although Enigma against Brewmaster is going to be somewhat clunky, the Black Hole's not going to be too reliable. EHOME has his option. Even if you want to go something that we haven't seen too often, like a Puck, that gives you the Dream Coil, which is not the most strongest crowd control. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of options out there. EHOME might just forgo the AoE game and go for the Bounty Hunter, go for the ganks and whatnot. Just so many ways to play this. Versatile heroes. When you open up with Rubik, Chen, and Morphling, there's the sky's the limit. You can do a lot of stuff.
You can go anywhere. The Storm is an option. The Tinker's still in the pool. I'm actually very surprised neither team has picked him, but there's your Chaos Knight. Great initiation. The frontline tanker. They're still lacking in terms of AoE, but they get some single target crowd control. And the burst damage from this team, the chasing power, especially with telekinesis, with waveform, with reality rip, it's not quite out of this world, but it's getting close, and one more mobile hero might just be the ticket. They already have their 2 supports, the Rubik and the Chen. They could offensive tri-lane these 2. They could put a Morphling solo mid. They could even run something like a Storm or a Tinker in the safe lane. They definitely have their options. Because Morphling is... This is why Morphling is such a great pick. You don't have to support him. He can normally handle himself in a solo situation, especially if it's a 1v1. And that means you can pick another farmer, you can pick another hero that does need some help, like the Chaos Knight, and maybe even something else like a Storm. So I really like EHOME's draft so far. Still pretty wide open, but like you said, they are lacking in team fight, they are lacking AoE. Right now, they can't challenge Brewmaster's team 1v1 in a head-to-head clash unless Rubik steals the ult. More lockdown for mTw. Here they're used to picking Beastmaster. I gotta say, very signature heroes for both teams being picked up.
Yeah, I'm just feel like both teams right now is quite weak against Tinker. You've been mentioning it throughout. I feel like EHOME particularly, they're very weak. Chaos Knight, Chen creeps, they need to dive in. And when you're diving past layers of Marching Machine, that's not where you want to be at all. Of course, Brewmaster, when he ultimates, he doesn't really care about these illusions. He will just toss a main hero up or when he finds it, or he will just basically right-click anything, stun anything. Brewmaster, I feel like the initiation is so strong. Chaos Knight, if he's strong enough, he could right-click down the Fire Panda, but you don't get that strong until you get a lot of farm on him. But at this point here, I think EHOME needs a slash support, unless they're going to play Rubik as support, in which case, something like a Windrunner would... Okay, something like Windrunner then would work really well for their lineup.
Yeah, I think it will be a Rubik support. It doesn't have to be. EHOME has run him solo mid before. Morphling can go solo mid. That's the beauty of this lineup, is there's still flexibility even within, individual heroes. Tidehunter, the final pick. EHOME has started to run Tidehunter in the off lane, so I'm thinking right now it's going to be a Tidehunter off lane, a Morphling solo mid, a Chaos Knight Rubik dual lane, Chen defensive jungle lane. That would be my prediction. But if they want to do something different, they could run... I think that's pretty much it. I guess they could run some kind of tri-lane, but they don't really have 2 strong solos. At least not while still having a strong tri-lane. Rubik's got to be a part of it if that's how they want to go.
Yep. Now for MTW side, it's not a clear route of what they want to do. MTW yesterday also ran a Brewmaster as a support to a Morphling. That was one of the rare instances we see Brewmaster on support. I don't imagine we'll see something like that. I feel like Shadow Demon would be very good, although it's making the front line somewhat squishy. You have the Brewmaster, you have the Beastmaster, but you really need the Leshrac to go big if you pick up Shadow Demon here. But in any case, if Leshrac's going to be the support, then you kind of need another kind of big, burly frontal guy. And I'm not sure what hero that could be.
Yeah, it's a lot to fill with this last spot. Oh, it's an OT. Oh, man. Stop the press. Go make your post on Twitter right now.
I'm doing that now. Forget the cast.
Outworld Destroyer has entered the game. Oh, this is one of my favorite heroes. Such a treat to watch. Will be handled by Sockshka, a fantastic carry player in his own right. Before we introduce the teams, I have to say, if you guys have not already tweeted about this game, go do so right now. Twitter.com, hashtag #PoundDota2TI or #TI2, although I believe #Dota2TI is what Valve is promoting. Go let the world know about this fantastic pick. This guy's exciting. Okay, with all that said, Kebap going to be playing the Panda. fckinmad will be handling the Enchantress, with of course handling that support role. Sentry Wards and Smoke of the Sea picked up. Synderen will be on the Leshrac. Rina Protection picked up. They want to push fast and hard with this. What looks to be a bit of a tri-lane for them. Sockshka going mid as the OD. And then towards the off lane, it will be Beastmaster. That being played by funzii. Expect a lot of Ancient stacking unless EHOME comes prepared and wards off that camp.
Alright, here we go. QQQ handling the Chen. We have Morphling being played at kingj. Oh, PCT on that TIE Hunter. We have EHOME X playing the Rubik on support, and lastly we have EHOME Lamb playing the Chaos Knight. Never mind about that, let's talk about that OD. He solos the mid lane like better than anybody else, I feel like.
Yeah, 1v1, there's almost nobody who can match him. Most of the strong solos are generally intelligence heroes, and he punishes them heavily, stealing their mana. And the heroes that have, and then he gets their damage as well, and they lose damage. But even heroes that aren't intelligence-based, they still need their mana. Morphling needs to go to waveform. funzii in a little bit of trouble. Lamb's not going to find him. He's just so good in the 1v1. He also fills the role of the Shadow Demon. You said you thought it would be a good choice for them to help deal with the Chaos Knight, the single target focus. That Astral Imprisonment, same kind of effect. You don't get the illusions, but you do get the disruption effect, messing up the enemy team fight, dodging things like Ravage. You can, if you're really fast, you can dodge other nukes as well. Things like Waveform too. I think you can even dodge Chaos Bolt, but that really comes down to luck because it comes out quite quickly. But yeah, he gives you a lot of defensive firepower. And then, of course, his DPS is virtually unmatched in the late game. The one thing that can really give him fits is BKB. If Morphling and CK get those up, Sockshka might have a bit of trouble.
It will give him a little bit fit, but you gotta keep in mind that not everybody on the enemy team will get the BKB. That ultimate is an AoE nuke. A nuke, not in the sense of the RPG term nuke. I mean like a bioweapon, that kind of thing. It hurts so much. it hurts massively. Now we've seen Morphling outlane a lot of other solo heroes, like Invoker, like Queen of Pain and whatnot. You're not gonna outlane this OD. He's gonna steal your intelligence. He's gonna get high damage. You're gonna have less mana, less spell to work with. I have high hopes for Sock. Now here's the downside with OD. If you ever fall behind with OD, it is so hard to come back. He has no flash farming ability. He's very, very easy to gank. So MTW has to protect this Sock. You have to make sure he have a fast start.
Yeah, look at him now. Already 13 more base damage than Morphling. And Morphling, of course, he can morph some points into agility. Doesn't look like kingj has done too much, but if you do that, as he is going to pick up some last hits under tower, but already 7-1, definitely out farming him here. And it just gets harder and harder. It's not too bad. Now there's a waveform, some good damage on the Sockshka. You really got to be careful about that up against Morphling. You don't want to be fighting him when your creep wave dies, especially if he can get a last hit, because then he gets that last hit, and he does a lot of damage. So he is quite a frail hero, although he has the defensive capabilities. But it's not just Sockshka who's getting farm in this game. It's also going to be the Leshrac in the top lane. Synderen completely unchallenged in this lane. PCT heading towards the root. fckinmad will be there first. It's a DD. Oh, this could be big trouble for PCT. Is there going to be a slow? Does he need it? He will need it. He's getting fucked. Not able to find it. That was a first blood, and he's not going to take it. At least I'm pretty sure. Might have been able to force a salve at the very least. In the end, gets nothing. Unfortunate for fckinmad. I really thought he had a kill there.
Look at Morphling's mana right now. It looks so high, but he does not have enough for a waveform, and that's what the Astral Imprisoment's doing for you. One thing I haven't pointed out so far is funzii started out with a 3 GG branch, did not buy anything, And the first item he purchased was the Sentry Ward, which is big. Now allows him to pull, and he's going to be somewhat effective in terms of catching top in terms of CS. That's huge. Lamb is getting free farm on the bot lane, as well as I imagine Synderen's getting free farm on the top. Yeah, one thing we also have not mentioned, they are at it again. mTw playing the support Brewmaster.
Wow, it didn't work last time, but they're getting so much farm. And also, by the way, the pole camp or the ancient camp was warded on the bottom lane, but funzii has dewarded that. He's now going to be pulling it. He definitely won't be able to kill this for a long time by himself. But if the team comes in to help, especially I think with the Beastmaster R there, they can clean these up reasonably quickly. Sockshka out of mana. He's already got a headdress. This is something we've seen occasionally. Normally with OD, the standard item build is something like Power Treads, and then you go for something like a 4-step. Occasionally you'll see a Hex Rush. BKB is an option as well. He's pretty versatile with his item choices, but this is something different. OD in the mid game has unlimited mana. He never runs out because of his passive Essence Aura, which every time you cast a spell, such as Astral Imprisonment, such as his Arcane Orb, his first ability, you get a bunch of mana back. When your mana pool is high enough, you always have mana, which means Mechanism is an option. He can definitely support it. The downside of this is he's already squishy, and it doesn't do much to keep him alive. It'll help, but sometimes you can't even get that mech off.
That's definitely the case. Mathematically, when you actually activate that mech, it gives you more HP than a Vanguard. But that's when math happens, and when you get Chain Stun, don't even have time to do that math. But here you go, another item being delivered. That's a boost of speed. The damage output here, he's already hitting for 80, and is only going to climb up as he feels more and more intelligent. He's running very low in terms of mana right now, but that will be fine. Let's check out on the bot lane here. funzii got himself an Invis Rune, denying that towards the mid lane again. But he's not stopping Lamb. Lamb's got free farm, he's got treads, level 5.5 in comparison. funzii sitting at 1. This is not looking good.
It's not, but the difference for me is he's stacking Ancients. PCT is doing nothing. He almost gave up First Blood. He didn't even stop the Rune. And here comes the push. This is the beauty of mTw's lineup. This is what they like to do. Solid, stable, but aggressive pushes. But it's controlled aggression for them. They're going to knock down the towers. They're not going to dive deep for the kills, but they're going to secure that map control. And if they get the early gold, that's going to help out Sockshka. That'll help funzii catch up. And it's going to limit the space to farm for EHOME. To me, EHOME, they don't have too many heroes who can stop this push right now. It's kind of the weakness of their lineup. Where is that AoE counter push? It's all centered in X or Die, that support hero. Playing the Rubik, but he's not going to be able to do too much right now. He's only level 3. This is going to be 2 easy towers for mTw, and no trade for EHOME. I expected an early tri-lane push, but this is working out, I think, even better than anyone could have anticipated.
Yeah, you can see that EHOME is trying to respawn to top tower, but by the time they get there, it's going to be gone, so they got to set up a gank. That one Observer placed on this hill just doing so much right now. They want Obsidian Destroyer. If they could get him right here, it's going to be good. They have waited for the disruption. Here he goes. Sock's going to get heavily dove upon. He's going to run up north. QQQ tanking the tower. Wait for him up. The body blocking from kingj, or at least attempt to do so. They're not going to get the gank off.
Meanwhile, top lane, they've done big damage to the tower. They don't get that kill that you were keeping your eyes on. And now it might be First Blood deep inside the enemy base. This is a big dive. Effing mad. The heal runs out. Still taking the tower. Is he going to give away First Blood to a tower? Effing mad. 25 HP. In comes Lamb. Synderen in a lot of trouble. The tier 3 down. 6 minutes in. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. But Lamb still wants that First Blood. Lamb dropping low. No mana for Edict. Telekinesis. Throwing Synderen down and stunning Kebap. Amazing support play. And there's your First Blood. Call it a double kill for EHOME. They do give away 3 towers for this one. And their big gank mid fails. But nonetheless, they'll take the double.
They'll take the double. This is time for mTw funzii to get some EXP. CK was forced to go down, immediately hitting level 3, and that level 3 is absolutely crucial. He needs almost 5 to be for sure to actually start taking on that ancient camp and getting these EXP, because CK was forced to go up top is huge. So despite losing 2 heroes, mTw is doing great. That's also pulling off pressure away from the Obsidian Destroyer, so he's getting relatively good farm. Look at his mana at this point. He's going to be basically draining kingj's mana. kingj, look at his intelligence. He's sitting at 19. We're at 7 minutes and it's going to start to drain lower and lower and lower again. Very lucky for them though. He does have a regen rune. So if he ever needs a waveform, he has one. There we go. He wants to go in. CK running in very quick with the treads, but not want to walk up that hill.
Yeah, not just yet. QQQ has rotated top. Neither jungler has done too much. Effing mad definitely supported the push, but no big kills. Lamb catches out Kebap. Unfortunately for Kebap, he is a support panda. There is no ultimate available. Lamb cuts him off, beats him to the corner, but not able to fully block him. Reality Rift, there's your perfect chain stun. Meanwhile, QQQ and X, they edict damage. There's your Hand of God. They get the Panda. Now they want Synderen. The Predator has become the prey, and he's running for his life. Split Earth will hit beautifully on Lamb. The dodge away by QQQ, but the chase, it will stop for the moment. Meanwhile, middle lane, no, they're not done. They really want Synderen. This is a long way to dive, and they will back off. Auto attacks, Split Earth on 2. Will there be a kill? Not quite enough. There is no lightning. This is a European track. They generally go for stats and Pulse Nova. Great job there by Synderen not dying, but Panda does take a fall in the end.
Yeah, speaking of silent heroes getting EXP in the middle of chaos, PCT on the bot lane hits level 5, and that's critical as well. Actually catching up here for the Beastmaster alongside the Beastmaster. Back on the mid lane though, you can see despite Sock's passive harass when it comes on draining their mana, kingj has a real nuke. And because of the threat of those nukes, Sock can't even go in. He sees a nuke being used, he's gonna go right in. Another, it's just such a cheeky, annoying spell to deal with. But right now, the muscle, the shotguns, the real bullets are being fired by kingj, and it's doing damage to this tower. Weakening the mid tower right now, it's a big job of the solo mid. It makes the push later on that much easier, and give that slight edge to your team.
For the moment, mTw, big smoke gank rotating towards the top lane. They want to make it go on Lamb here. Lamb, pretty tanky at this point, but if they catch him out, they should have enough burst to bring him down. Oh, Lamb, a bridge too far for him. The Split Earth will miss, though. Maybe going to turn this one around. There's your Edict, chewing through it, but he is quite a tanky horse. That horse has a lot of armor, man. Will they be able to bring him down? It looks like they should. One more Split Earth. Synderen has been on point all game long with those. He gets the kill. Meanwhile, the pressure middle lane is mounting. OD was killed off, forced back to base while this was happening. kingj secures that kill. But still, even though he dies, he is 10 CS ahead of kingj. There's your tower kill, though, going to kingj. And even if OD was leading this lane, he's in a little bit of a pickle now. It looks like, oh, they breach high ground again with the creep wave, but they back off. I really think they could have kept on going, but they don't know that. They don't know if EHOME's TPing out. So in the end, mTw play it safe. And this is one of those times where it might have actually been the right call to try and go high ground 10 minutes in, but that's very easy for us to say.
Yep. And I remember myself saying that EHOME is the offensive one, but mTw right now is turning on the offense so much. You talked about Synderen getting the dive. Meanwhile, funzii on the bot lane in big trouble. Oh, the big smack here from Lamb. Gonna claim the kill. Look at Chaos Knight. He's taking the Chaos Strike so early in the game. He wants to maximize his damage output. Well, I mean, it's an interesting way to do it. He's forgoing Reality Rift, which is fine, but leveling up Reality Rift does give you all a big cooldown decrease. For now, they want to focus on this tower. Tower is just surviving for such a long time. They don't have the Edict. Who's wrapping around? It's a double damage with Destroyer. Any one TP will start to scare everybody away. Trying to make sure that Sock doesn't get too focused on fckinmad running in right now. They want them to dive on Synderen. They do, and here we go. OD backstabbing. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Hand of God, the ultimate. QQQ goes down. Sock is gonna eat a ref. Will he be fine? Reality Rift back. Self-disrupt. That's what it does right now. He's gonna try to focus. Oh, Sock's gonna go down. Nice support fire from X. Will that be enough? Another offensive disruption. He stole it, and he used it on his teammate defensively. Huge play from X. Will he run out of gas? Fable cooling down just a bit. Lamb's going for it. 4-second stun. Oh, X can't go in with the Fable. He has no speed. He's gonna get down, killed by the impetus. Man, chaotic team fight here and there. Massive TP coming in. Here comes buyback from Lamb. He wants more, but guess what? That board, it's slowing everything down. It gets stolen back. But right now, I think that was a pretty big win for Dire.
Oh, top lane is Kebap. Will he be able to get this tower tonight? kingj, pump fake. Kebap gets it. Will there be a waveform? There is. There's an ult available for Kebap, just hitting level 6, and that's a big level to pick up. Meanwhile, Ravage has already been used. PCT pulling slightly ahead, but now with the Panda ult on board, I feel for mTw, they're going to have some bigger openings. It's also a Roar coming online. 2 massive important initiation spells for a team that really has had no initiation before now. Sure, you have some cute combos. You can start off with the Astral Imprisonment. You can then drop a Split Earth, but it's Lamb at the bottom lane. Roar onto Lamb. Impetus splashing through. Will it be enough? Edict is going to clear up that kill. And the imp damage. We're not done. Enchantress hates Chen, and we're seeing it here. QQQ takes a fall. mTw, the score was 7-5 before that, or 7-4 before that one. But they strike back. They get a couple going their way. And the tower denied top. A good minute or so for them.
Yeah, it's just so much action right now that it's difficult for us to really make sure, like, to point out who's actually ahead. So much exchanges, and it's unclear that who's actually getting these exchanges. But if the tier 1 is destroyed on the bot lane, mTw is going to claim yet another tower. They got the 2 on the top. They're working on this one on bot. That's going to be 3 towers to EHOME's 2. Yeah, EHOME got the top. It was denied. They got one on mid. That wasn't denied. But still, mTw far ahead in terms of tower gold. And back in the mid lane, though, they're drawing a couple of TP. Look at the damage being done to this tier 2. Sock's coming in. He wants to fight this. There's a spell being stolen. That is the level 2 Astral Imprisonment. Interesting skill build. He's actually just leaving his imprisonment at 2. And maybe perhaps try to have the same timing for the Shadow Demon Disruption. I mean, it's a 4-second disruption here. And to make sure that you do hit your split earth, maybe that's it. I'm not sure why he's actually leveling the orb here. Generally, you actually max the imprisonment because it's that good.
It made it, you know, it's not just the time they're out of the fight. It's also the fact that you get way more damage and intelligence from it too. And the later stages of the game, it doesn't matter because you can't spam it as much. But we're still sort of not in the lating stage, but there still will be opportunities to steal intelligence maybe 2 or 3 times in the fight at this stage in the game. So yeah, it's a little odd. The one other thing I'll say about Arcane Orb is it's really good at level 1. The illusion damage isn't that amazing, but you don't have to worry about illusions right now. Well, I guess you actually kind of do, because there's a cast type, but he's only got at level 1 ultimate. So I think getting more points Astral Imprisonment might be the better call. But either way, it's not a big deal. Sockshka wants a little more damage. The 4-step is coming online for him. So it's a casual headdress. Could turn it into a mech later. Maybe if they needed it, he would have. But he's leaving his options open. Double Astral Imprisonment. Cheeky play. But telekinesis. Throwing him back in. The Ravage hits on 4. Actually on 5. Are you kidding me, PCT? There's the ultimate from Panda. Lamb locked in pace. Will this Panda open enough? Hand of God. Maybe not. Lamb throwing a Morphling up into the air. Synderen takes the fall. The fight going dramatically the other way. That Ravage just completely outclassing the Panda ult there. And EHOME come out big time on top.
Yes!
And the Panda ult gets stolen. I called it in the pregame die. So good at that. Oh man, we have seen that his support Rubik already is absolutely sensational. Stealing every spell, using it perfectly, and with the Panda ult, that means at least another tower. They could even threaten high ground. There's nothing to defend or go for Roche. They can be so aggressive with this Panda ult on die now.
Well, at least Morphling's gonna wait for him out. They're looking for more. We talked about Panda and Panda violence. We're gonna see it right here. Oh man, this stream is getting rated. Maybe R18, but we'll talk about that in a bit here. Morphling on the bot lane has quite a bit of mana regeneration. Mana regeneration and mana pool is always an issue when you're playing against OD. But 4-staff, I love the way that he's going for his build. 4-staff first after the headdress allows the greatest survivability, and then he's gonna go back for the mechanism when he can survive and then actually use that mech. Also want to talk about CK's build here. Those crits are been immense. It's the reason that they've been killing Synderen so quickly. I've been watching these fights and he just smack, smack, smack. Those numbers raining up 300, 400. It's insane on Lamb, and it's a good adjustment to the skill build. You don't have to blindly max it, and Lamb is showing us that.
You know, it's interesting choice, kingj. He's going for the shotgun. They want to get those quick pickoffs. On the one hand, it is really effective against a lot of these squishies. The OD is squishy. Enchantress is squishy. Synderen, he's pretty squishy right now, but he will be building tanky because that's just how you build Leshrac. But on the flip side, a BKB makes you immortal in this game, so it wouldn't have bothered me at all if he went for that. He can always go back for it later. But kingj, choosing to be aggressive, looks like they don't want to have too many team fights except when their ults are up, and that Ethereal Blade will give you more outside of the team fights.
Well, they have a Panda ult up, so I'd like to see them a little bit aggressive. Now, it's a little bit awkward here for X to use that Panda ultimate, because if you walk in before you use ult, you get chain stun and you get killed. But if you use ult on the backline and try to walk in, well, that's a lot of the allure here for that Panda split is out. So even though he's got an ult, it's exciting to see that he stole it, but I'm not sure how effective it truly will be. But back to the shotgun comment that you made. Yeah, I completely agree with you. BKB is going to make him basically the top dog. But yeah, if you get it too early, you're going to run out of charges very quick. And shotgun's one of those items, the earlier you get it, the more effective it will be. So I don't see anything wrong with getting it so early in this game. It's going to make him kill OD very, very quick until OD rushed that BKB himself.
We're seeing a difference in the effectiveness of these two carries at surviving right now. The farm, almost identical. The tower score, in fact, I believe going the way of mTw. I believe they're leading in that respect.
Top gank.
Are they? Oh, top gank. They won kingj. There's the slow. The imp damage. No, on the creep to start now on kingj. I really don't see them getting this kill. There's your Ghost Scepter. The OD ult could have done some big damage there. 4-step in, disruption, and then walks away. Just wanted a little extra intelligence for himself. Yeah, right now I think that the Morphling you can't kill him nearly as easy as OD. Sure, Disruption or Astral Imprisonment is great defensively, but it's not as good as having Morph and Waveform, which can disjoint stuns, and just is a lot more versatile, I have to say, than that Astral Imprisonment.
I see EHOME using that Panda ultimate because he was gonna run out anyways, so that was a pretty cute play. But
I was actually gonna say you can just use it to push. I'm a little surprised they didn't just do that.
They're so passive with that Panda ultimate. Maybe they really just want Ravage because again, it's not too reliable. You know the Ravage is reliable. Where's the Morphling joining in? There's no Morphling. The Morphling and his team is gonna be doing a little bit of split push. It is somewhat of a questionable play. Lamb's gonna be providing most of the damage in this fight, but here we go. I feel like Radiant though, even though there's kind of a strong death ball with the tie in the front, I think the Dire could easily deal with it. It really requires the good dodging of that Ravage. You cannot allow that Ravage hit forward and hope to win the team fight. That's not going to happen. You got to have to try to juke that Ravage, make it hit 1 or make it hit 2, and you're in okay shape. But for now, kingj on the top lane, sending illusions around and try to push his tower.
Test of faith on the Hawk. Love it. Although the smoke gank, they didn't actually see it. funzii, maybe he noticed his. funzii, by the way, has been getting a lot of farm on this Beastmaster. Kind of the forgotten man of this game. Oh, he stops to fight a replicant. That's unfortunate. Pulled back in. kingj. Something gets stolen by X. That will be the call of the wild. So now they have a boar as well as a hawk, more importantly, working on their own. The gank train, it's going to keep on rolling all the way from bottom up towards top. Lamb in the front lines. I love it. Choo, choo, choo. Indeed. sockshka, Gush, Chaos Bolt, Ravage hits, Kebap. Can he get the ult off? No. Telekinesis. Clap. Where's that ult? Doesn't want to use it, won't use it, takes a fall, has the buyback, but buying back now is pretty damn bad because his blink dagger is not far off, or wasn't far off anyway.
Creep sealing back and forth, constant action between the two jungler here. The Call Wild on the air just gives them so much more map control than they already have. EHOME, they face a 3 tower push up top, even threatened to lose their high ground, but now they're in domination. They are controlling this game. Gograph is slowly moving back up top, and Morphling is just last hitting creeps all over the map as well as getting a lot of kills. He's 2-0-4. It's not like he's been just farming all day. You see synderen on the bot lane, not going to chase for it. Synderen gets a VIP booster, he needs the BKB. He understands that as well, and he's going to be rushing for it.
Yeah, it's a BKB, and if synderen can get it up, if Morphling missteps with the Ethereal Blade, synderen can definitely melt him down and punish him for it. It's just such a strong defensive lineup. I feel like it's this triumvirate here. The Chen, the Tidehunter, and the Morphling. These are the 3 heroes that seem to just synergize so damn well together. You get Tidehunter for your team fight, versatile in terms of the lanes, doesn't need items. You've Chen for the great, strong laning support hero, and then you've Morphling, your big damage dealer, as well as your ridiculously survivable carry hero, who also, by the way, scales really well into the late game. This combination, we have been seeing it so many games today, and every time we see it, it works beautifully. mTw, they're not out of it yet. The gold difference, the experience difference, not overwhelming. It's more their position on the map. They're on the back foot, but I like what they're doing. They're trying to keep the aggression up. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to find anyone.
Yeah, that was, again, a big investment of the smoke gang. If they do pick off kingj, though, Roshan could be attempted. That's why they're really diving aggressively. Perhaps they're going to even try to go for this tier 2. I wonder what the response is for EHOME once they find out. They're very, very far off, but they do have a lot of teleport squirrels up. EHOME Lamb still farming away, maxing the critical strike before Reality Rift. I wonder if it's going to just take stats now and just forget about the reality. He's working on, again, on a fairly lower cooldown, and the range is a little bit shorter as well, but he's scripting for 400. It's too hard to script that.
That's the beauty of Chaos Knight, right? You don't need really any damage items to do some pretty nasty damage. That Chaos Strike does give you 300% crit. Oh, excuse me, crit. A lot more than a lot of other critical strike abilities. They're going to kill off a lone creep here. That creep was very far away from the home base. He will be punished severely for that, but no big deal in the end. Just a creep dying, man. If you think about it, Lumi, Dota is a pretty horrible game. So much stuff dying constantly, but the creeps, nobody cares about them. It's only about the heroes. Why are they more important, I ask you? Why are they more important?
Today I read on a tweet on pound Dota 2 TI, which is where you should add those pound signs to if you want to post about Dota 2. Somebody said esport is the only place where you could yell out "kill him" and not have awkward, looks going your way. And I thought that was so apparent. And look at the boars being killed. Look at critical strikes. No critical strikes. Oh man, animal cruelty.
everything going EHOME's way right now. It's very passive play by mTw when they're not smoke ganking. They're just not fighting. Blink Dagger, no. Kebap has not gotten any farm since that death. This support Panda, this is the second time we've seen it from mTw, and I gotta say, it's been equally ineffective in both games.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it ineffective. It's just, I wonder how they give Kebab the EXP. He needs a level 11. The level 6 Panda, it's okay. It's decent for kind of a WoW move. The damage output isn't too high. The stun duration isn't too much. You really need that level 11. And to be honest, though, I haven't seen him trying to actively farm for it.
Well, there hasn't been a single, like, useful panel of this game. He's 0-4. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Like you said, he's under-leveled. It's not his fault as a player. It's part of their strategy. But I think Panda needs more to contribute. I just don't think he can be an impact hero. And Panda is a hero that needs to make an impact. He's not a throwaway. I mean, if you want a throwaway, you get someone who could do a little more early. To me, this isn't working. And maybe mTw, obviously, if they're running it repeatedly, they've practiced with it, it's been effective in other situations. Whatever the case is, this game, it just doesn't seem to be one of them. Big smoke gang, X leading the charge. That telekinesis will be devastating. Effing mad. What do you know? The easiest kill in the front lines. The Ethereal Blade Test of Faith combination. Insta-giving him. Buyback, TP in. They know they need to defend their base. There's still a Ravage. Everything online. The Ethereal Blade has been available. And he's also got 1,700 gold in the bag. 2,100 up on Lamb. Reaching high ground now. So a lot of teams would be content to get that kill and back up. But this is EHOME. They are nothing if not aggressive.
Yep. Lamb is sitting at level 13, level 2 Phantasm. Stealing boars, yes! I love it. Now they're going to employ one. That slow is actually a pretty big deal if it could be landed on hero. Sock is always going to be the focus at these team fights. If you get him out of position, that's going to be big. Beastmaster Roar. Where's the ultimate? There's a Ravage on everything. Pipe gets popped. Shotgun on Sock. Sock gets pick up. He's stunned. Does he have the buyback? Synderen pops his BKB. He's going to work, but will that be enough? Not too sure right now. kingj very healthy in terms of HP. Lamb, he's in the middle of everything. He's critting. He's still alive. I can't believe it. And now PCT providing the slow. It's back. That is actually the Astro Imprisonment here by the Rubik. kingj going to work. 2-second stun on Kebab. You talked about the throwaway hero, the ultimate not being enough. EHOME all survive. No buyback for mTw. 3 dead. And now the focus on the tower. I love the fact that there is an urn on X. He's just providing. Look at 7 charges. That's a lot of healing for the team. He's just giving them out like charities. And it's going to be raining down on this tower. Tower goes down. Rax fully. Oh, the shotgun. And that's going to be the kill. No chance for that Enchantress either. No buyback. And I think this is going to be mid-Rax.
Oh, it's going to be mid-Rax. It might be more. There's no Panda ult. And the thing about it is right now, EHOME have all the team fight items. They have the pipe. They have the mech. They have the tank on Lamb. He couldn't be killed in that fight. Even X, like you said, he's got the urn, which I consider a bit of a team fight item at this point. Not so much a team fight item, but great for sustaining your pushes. mTw, actually, they have a pipe on funzii. It just didn't feel like it was nearly enough. And the mech on sockshka, the problem for me is, it's sockshka going in first. We saw it in that fight. He was in the middle of everything. And for OD, you cannot be there unless you're way ahead or you have a BKB. He has neither, and just too easy to pick him off. Morphing shotgun, coupled up with the other nukes, melting him down in a matter of not even seconds, milliseconds is probably the more accurate way to put it. 3.3k gold up on kingj. His next choice, whatever it is, it's coming soon. EHOME just looking such a commanding lead right now. I love the OT pick. I was rooting for OD because I always root for heroes that we're not seeing a lot of, heroes that are my personal favorites as well, to make a big splash on the scene. OD can work against Morphling. It just isn't seeming like it was his game.
Yep, Beastmaster is going to be slowly trekking kingj. And how big was a shotgun in that team fight, right? I mean, it just went on OD. OD went down so quick. And that's a big part of making OD somewhat ineffective. And the reason why he shouldn't be in the front line is just too easily picked off. But for now, that shotgun is going to give Morphling 3,600 gold. He's shotgunning creeps. That's how ballsy he is right now. Wasting all of his mana. He's sending a Illusion back home. He's probably going to be waveforming this one and making back home with full mana soon.
Yeah, looking pretty good here. mTw still on the back foot. Roshan would be the objective here. They're kind of grouped up in that direction. Maybe going to be looking to go for that. Or, I guess, defend bot. Look at the warding for EHOME. This is what complements their aggression so well. Aggressive wards in the lane, spotting out any attempt to go for Roshan. They are not going to let mTw get an easy foothold back in this game. If they want to do so, they will have to work and fight tooth and nail for that. And for the moment, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to. 4-staff up on X. All the items just accumulating rapidly. Even a 4-staff on PCT. I'm expecting to see a double 4-staff into a massive Ravage. pretty much as good as a Blink Dagger and a lot more reliable too.
Yep. They have that gem as well. Now it's going to be D ward like you mentioned, and of course you keep your ward up as well. But somebody's got to defend top though, because it is completely exposed. Right now EHOME X getting in position. Ooh, he's playing very, very brave, but because he has a force F, he can do that. EHOME is being very aggressive. If they somehow lose this fight, and if they want to go for a Hail Mary boots travel by, you could just lose Rax. But Morphing's going to TP back. He has a global presence with Replicate. He's going to defend this very easily, TP back, and start the fight here on the bot lane.
I really think they could have continued that push top. We talked about it. It might be another game where we see a team get that opening. They're knocking on the racks. They could have gone for it at one point, maybe lose a couple heroes, maybe get an early melee rack. The game could have been so different. It's the second game for me that I've cast in the past couple weeks where I've seen a team back off when they maybe could have gotten it in the end in a very bad position. Now, that Rax has not been touched since being breached very early. What was it, 6 minutes in?
Yeah.
It feels like that was the peak for mTw in this game. That was when they had the control over the map. That was when they were having a good farm, good items. Then shortly after that OD dies, the death ball starts to accumulate. EHOME has not been looking back. Very slow from EHOME here. I'm wondering what they're waiting for. They're waiting for kingj with a BKB. Yep. Oh no. There's no impetus damage towards him. There's not going to be any OD. Arcane Orb damage. The ult's not going to hit. You can't imprison him. The only thing they have is a roar and maybe the right click of the pandas, but here's the pipe. This is going to be it. The big death ball onto the high ground. Lurking in the wings is fckinmad. funzii comes in, wants to roar, run to lamb. Look how tanky he is. ODO gets dropped. kingj don't care. He charges in, out of mana, but doesn't matter. He can just right click, working on synderen. Synderen dropping low. fckinmad takes a fall. Synderen next in line. Now, triple kill for kingj. GG. This one is over. You can book it, folks, but we do have a game 2, and that will be coming up soon.
It's really insult and injury when you roar and then X seals the roar and roars you right back. Oh man, there's one thing about casual Beastmaster roars from Lamb, but there's another thing when sealing real roars from X. 21-6 is your final score. You talked about the uphill push that never went away. I thought the window of opportunity was quite small, but that could have been their only window of opportunity. EHOME, too strong of a mid-game play, and they never look back, like LD pointed out. This is game number 1. It goes to EHOME. Game number 2 is coming your way. Don't go anywhere, guys. More intense group stage action from TI2 coming your way.